Welcome, everyone. This is Moving Forward with Andrea. It is February 18th, 2014, Tuesday night, and I am on the phone with Albert THEMAN, who actually is Albert, who's known as DJ Albertik. And he's a DJ, producer, promoter, and he does tracks worldwide. He's been all over the place. And first of all, I'm going to say, hello, Albert. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great, Andrea. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk to you because I love, I'm actually have your tracks on right now on SoundCloud, and I just uploaded it on my Facebook so people can click in and listen to it if they want to. Excuse me?
Definitely looking forward.
Yeah, and you actually have a new one coming out that's you just did recently, didn't you?
Yes, I'm actually just finished a few weeks ago with a mashup that will be released on March 10th, and then last night I finished with my own production. I'm just working on a track name and release date. Once I have that, should be able to have that available on my website.
Excellent. Well, first of all, I wanted to, find out like how you got started in all this, and I want, I know you're from Russia, and did you come over here when you were young, or like when did you first come to this country?
Well, I came to the United States about 20 years ago. I was 16.
Wow.
Very young, went to high school, spoke no English, didn't know anything about the culture.
Wow. Now, was it hard for you? Did you know English right away, or did you have to learn it when you got here, or how'd that go?
Yes. I actually knew nothing. I spoke no English, not one word.
Wow, you're doing awesome. I've met with you before and talked with you, and you have very good English. God bless you, because I know that's not easy. I know myself learning another language, which I want to know, because I think it makes you, diverse, especially with what you're doing and what I do. I think I should have a couple of languages under my belt. But, can you tell me how hard was that to adapt?
It was pretty tough because, you pretty much, you need to establish yourself in another country. You have to adapt new language, culture, and daily life going forward.
Yeah, exactly. No, I hear you.
It was a little bit tough, but I was young, and at the young age, it's easier than for adults.
Yeah. Now, did your family move here with you, or just yourself?
No, my family. I came with my family.
Now, do they like it here? Are they happy?
Very happy, of course.
Excellent, excellent. So, can you tell me how you got started in this business? Like when you were younger, I know you do something else for work, because everybody like I interview, even if what they're doing is their passion and it's their work, they always are, really working hard to get things going. So they usually are doing something else in their life. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. First time when I arrived to this country, going to high school and then going to college, that I graduated with my bachelor and master with finance major, I was hungry for, I guess, opportunity. There's a saying, when you wake up hungry, I woke up starving. And basically I was...
That's awesome. I love your drive. I think that's really important, and I'm glad we're doing this interview, because when I talk to people, when I interview people like yourself that really are hungry for, I think that's one of the biggest things in moving forward with anything in life, is that you got to be hungry for it. Do you agree?
Yeah, and every one of us have dreams, and I'm pretty sure each of us wants to get those dreams, but just sit at home and wait until those dreams come to you, it doesn't work like that.
No, I know it doesn't. So you were telling me, so you got started, you were hungry, you majored in business financing, and then what?
But before that, when I was 18 years old, I went to the club with my cousin. This is the first club ever I went to.
What was it?
The name of the club, it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, okay.
They don't exist anymore. They shut down. That was a long time ago. After 2 years, I arrived to America. So it was pretty much a new experience for me. And when I entered, in the club, I said to myself, wow, first, music was awesome. People were going crazy. And DJ was enjoying the music and while people were dancing. And I could feel his energy. And, I really loved the environment, how it was set up. And, I was actually standing next to a DJ.
Wow.
I said to myself, wow, I think I can do this too. I know it's not gonna overnight thing, but it's gonna take some time, and I want to try it and see if I can do that. So I set myself a goal, not just to learn how to DJ, but I set myself a goal to DJ with that DJ that I first time saw in my life.
Wow.
And
that's pretty cool. I admire your inspiration of how that all came about. So that's something that, like, you were like, wow, this is, inspiring, and it's an awesome atmosphere, and this is fun, and I could get paid for it at the same token. And, it's hard work, though, because you're doing something else. You were involved in other things.
Yeah. So, and that's how I started. I bought a DJ system without knowing anything. I was practicing on my own, learning, and
Can I ask you something? So the folks out there that are going to hear this interview, it might help them. Like, when you're going about things like that way, how do you teach yourself? I mean, you don't have to go on to a long tangent about it. Just, touch base, because I'm sure it's not easy, not knowing anything. Did you have people help you? Like, what do you suggest people do to focus to get that, a little bit under your belt? Because there's so many things you got to accomplish. I know it's very intense.
Yes. Well, back when I started, and now it's two different things. So now it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
To learn.
So it's all on the computer now and everything. I know it's quicker.
It's not just computer. Back in the days, there was a huge competition, and everyone trying to get into DJing and try to do everything on their own, and nobody wants to help you.
Oh, really? So how did you get past that? When you didn't know anything, did you have any help, or did you just stop playing songs? Like, how did it all work?
First of all, I had to, like I said, I bought a system. I was practicing, practice till I felt comfortable that I'm ready. Then I met a guy who became a very good friend of mine. He was a club promoter named Dmitry, and we became good friends. Then he gave me an opportunity to DJ at Club Alpenino, and that's where I became a resident DJ. It wasn't easy. I wasn't good.
I've been at Alpenino's. That's an awesome, what's it, 3 floors in there?
What is it?
What's it, 3 floors in Alpenino?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've been in there. I know the owners. I probably knew a few people that you know there. It's a great location, and it's very upscale. So the folks out there listening that hear this, that was like one of the places that was happening. And you had a variety of ages there, and it was also, I call it the good-looking people, because it's definitely, they had really good food downstairs as well, right?
Yep.
And the restaurant on the second, a 5-star, I think it was on the second floor.
Yep.
Yeah. So how long were you there for?
Well, first time when I get a gig, I was so thrilled, yet I was so worried about it that, I didn't do a good job. I personally think that way. Even though people dance, but I could have done better, because this is my first performance in front of people. I was nervous, and I think I could have done better.
I know you're saying that now, but at the time, they obviously liked you because you were there. So
the transition of DJing thing, very important. And at that time, when I first started, I was so nervous that I didn't pay attention to it back then. That was about 12, 13 years ago. So, obviously, people were happy, but the management might not be happy, because they know in a professional business, the transition should be smoother. And this is where I had conversation with management. They're saying, Albert, thank you for doing the job. I think, we'll get somebody else. And obviously, I said, come on, I need one more chance. I'm not going to give up. This is a great opportunity for me, and I think I deserve it. I'm not going to put you down, guys. Give me one more chance. And this is where I had to take a week off from work and any other things that I was planning, and constantly practicing at home. music-wise, transitioning-wise, mixing, creating mashups, bootlegs, everything.
Yeah, and it's not easy. So they wanted to let you go, and you're like, give me another chance.
Yeah.
Wow. I give you a lot of credit for telling the folks out there. So don't be ashamed from, things like that happen, and learn from it. And you got to fight for yourself knowing that. Give me a chance. So did they give you another chance?
Yes, and do remember that back in the days there were no YouTube. So I couldn't watch YouTube how to do things, how to train myself, various things, how to do tricks and things like that. So I had to do on my own without looking any YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I had a week off. I had, from Saturday to Saturday, they gave me an opportunity to say, okay, we'll give you one more chance. And that's where I come the following week, and I had my gig with expectations, obviously, and I did it great. And after that, I was resident DJ there for 5 years.
Awesome. Good for you. I'm really I think that's, like a lot of people that I have on my show have been through a lot of success stories like that. And I'm glad to hear one from, someone with the background, what you do, because I think it's important people know, like, you can't give up. If you really have faith in yourself, you got to, like, stick up for yourself and prove yourself and whatever it is that you need to do, because I think that's, at that point, like, when they said that to you, if you didn't move forward, that's very easy for people to just quit and walk away. It's really hard to get through the tough times and to say, no, I'm going to work this out. I'm going to figure out what I need to do right, and I'm going to learn from this, and I'm going to be the best I can be. And that is, my friend, moving forward and being successful and working hard, and good for you. So that must have made you feel good.
Oh, yeah. The one thing is, success doesn't come overnight. You have to be, like I said, you have to be starving for success and succeed. It just doesn't, you don't wait, and you don't sit home and wait until it comes to you. Yeah.
Nothing comes to us. We all have to, unless you have a silver spoon in your mouth and you had the billionaire parents, and I know I haven't, and I've had to work, very hard. And I'm actually working on another business myself right now, and I'm working very hard. And you got to make sure you do things right, too, to protect yourself, trademarking, and all that stuff, because, there's some pretty, horrible people out there that you got to protect yourself from. And sometimes it's people we think that are close with us, and, that they're our cheerleaders, but, I'm writing a book, and if you want to be a part of that, I just like your advice on. I know we had a discussion before, because I've sat down and talked with you over coffee, and can you tell people a little bit about, when you had to trying to put things together for yourself, how did you deal with negativity, and when someone is taking advantage of things and you're trying to get this together and that you're becoming successful, and then people are trying to take advantage of that? How do you deal with negativity, and what advice do you give people so maybe it might help them?
Well, first of all, there will be always competition. That means there would be people saying bad things, trying to pressure you in a negative way, giving you negative energy.
Yep.
Saying
I hear you.
saying unpleasant things. This is something, as human, we need to accept. We know that it's going to happen. So when something like that happens, just take it, breathe out, and move on. So
so in other words, you need to just you take it with a grain of salt, and you got to grow some thick skin and believe in yourself, as long as you're not hurting anyone or yourself. Like, people that, care about you should be happy for you, and the ones that aren't, you just, how do you deal with that? What do you do?
Exactly, but sometimes, when you do get negative comments or negative, information from other people, I personally take that as a positive thing. First of all, I listen to what people say. Maybe it's true. Maybe there's something that I can improve. Sometimes negative things could help you in a positive way.
You're right. So, for the folks out there listening, I think it is important to understand constructive criticism is good, but then sometimes, when people are taking advantage of business situations and stuff like that, when you're in those situations, how do you get out of it? Because I know you had to deal with them as well as I do, and it's not easy,
Well, there's a lot of hate and competition, and people try to put you down. I guess it's in the business that I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm just accepting it, and I know what I want, and I know what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it takes for me to do that and to get to this, next level, I just follow my route. And regardless, what happens on the side, bad or good, I have my way of getting things the way I want it, and I just keep going.
Yeah, now, if it's someone close to you and you have to deal with that, how do you handle that?
What is it?
If it's somebody that's close to you that you've done business with, how do you handle, moving forward without, if you know that their ideas and what they're doing is they're just trying to take your ideas and they're not trying to be, I've been in those situations. I know you have too. How, maybe it might help somebody out there. Like, how do you handle that? Because you know what I mean? In those situations, we're stuck in it. We can't just walk away from it because we're involved with it, with the person already, or it's something they want us to get involved with where it's not a fair thing. Do you just quietly walk away, or do you voice your opinion? You know what I mean? Like,
it does happen, and it happens actually very frequently. So I always listen. I always talk. Because without communication there is no success. And if people, very reasonable and fair to me and to them, obviously, then we go forward and get things done the way we both agree. And if not, we split our own way. Because, like I said, from the
so you're firm. You be firm with the person, and you let them know, like, listen, this is not what my intentions are, and you just stick to your guns. Basically.
Yeah. If I have a goal, and to get to that goal, whether, regardless of what I need to do, if people is next to me who supports me, they will understand, because people will know that I don't mean to harm anyone.
Exactly.
All I wanted to do is to get to my level. That's it.
Yeah, now that goes for your professional life. Now, personally, do you do things that way as well? You don't have to get into details on things. I'm just saying that, it'll be part of the book. And, for moving forward in your life, because you've come such a long way. And, you didn't even know our language here. That's awesome. You've done a lot. Like, how do you keep on going? And do you like it here? Do you like it in the United States?
No, I love it. It's a land of opportunities, like people say, and everyone have a dream. It's just, I consider myself lucky to be here because by me being here, I have all these opportunities that are laying down there. I just need to grab them in the right way.
Yeah. So, how personally do you move forward? That maybe that might help people that out there that are listening to keep your goals. Like, do you just have to have the drive for it, or you tell me?
Yeah, you have to be starving to what you wanted to do. In my example, as a DJ, I believe that most of us, almost all of us, want to be a DJ, a successful DJ, not just come to the job and leave.
I know I have so many DJ friends, and I know you know a lot of them, but It is the difference, and I know we don't have to go off on that too much. So basically, you have to be starving for that, and I will put that in with a lot of the other things you have, told us about how to move forward in the book. But I know you're doing some new things, and can you tell us a little bit about? I know, can you tell the folks out there what you've been working on, and what your goals are coming up? First, you can tell us what you're working on now, if you can let that out of the bag. And what it is exactly that you do.
Okay, right now, with my less hours of work, with DJing, I try to dedicate lots of time for production. I produce music and trying to create ideas that nobody came up yet. Because, in this world, you have to be very creative, yet very competitive.
Right. Now, can I ask you something? And this might be some good advice to people, and you don't have to tell them your secrets, but do you make sure you protect yourself and all that with that because of this competition? When you do something, there's, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways. I know I have musician friends that write music and different things, and they're with these different foundations to protect their copyrights and like a lot of different, there's so much involved because you want to make sure no one steals your ideas either. That's huge.
Of course, yeah. I have everything under control because I've read a lot. I see how, people are hungry to steal your stuff. Just get that.
So what do you suggest for people, what you're doing? You said, you're producing and you're making music and stuff. What kind of, well, first, I'm sorry. I know you were talking about what you're doing. So you're doing producing. And I know you're making tracks. Is that part of the producing or is that a separate thing?
Track is producing. So
okay.
Well,
I really don't understand what it all means, and it's good for you to explain just a little bit because I'm sure people out there don't understand, and if you let us know, we can all get a grasp of it better. I mean, I did interview Jacqueline Seymour, who I know you know, and she does tracks with DJs and, stuff like that. Is it just with music, or can it be with singers, or is it a bunch of different things, or depending on what the DJ wants?
Well, I can say produce, or easier way, for for producers or DJs, produce the music. Other regular people, you can say, creating a track, creating a music.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Same thing. So,
okay, so it does mean the same thing, creating music and creating tracks.
It's pretty much the same thing.
And how do you promote something like that, the tracks? Do you put it on SoundCloud? Do you make CDs of it, or how does that all work?
Well, there are various agencies that you can work with. You have to know how to promote yourself. There are many social networks that you have to, be part of it, and you constantly need to remind about yourself. I have a website, I have a page, I have SoundCloud, Twitter, everything. When you have everything at once, and you have to come to this from professional, view. So people take you seriously. Because if you have one mistake and something doesn't look right, you're going to lose audience. So that's where
Yeah, reputation's a big thing. I was discussing that with the attorney I just interviewed the other day. Can you just, not to be off the subject, we're going to get back to that, but can you tell the folks out there what your website is? So if people want to, I'm listening to you on SoundCloud right now, but you do have a DJ. It tells everything about what's going on with you, up to date, where you're going to be. Can you tell people what your website is so they can get a hold of you?
Sure. My website is DJAlbertik.com.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, just slower, because you said it too fast.
DJAlbertik.com. www.djalbertik.
Yeah, Albertik, folks, is ALBERTIK.com. And that brings all up to date, the tracks, where you're going to be, which are, things that are coming up, and anything else you want to tell us about your website?
Yes. Well, I have many releases coming up. Like I said, I just finished track last night, producing the track last night. I'm already working on a new one. I'm about to release a new mashup with David Guetta.
With who?
With David Guetta. He's a very world popular producer.
Oh, I know. He's awesome. I know him.
So it will be released on March 10th.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that. You better tag me on that on my Facebook. I want everyone to hear it. That'll be really cool. You excited about that?
Oh, yeah. I am actually. It's so good. And
I know, because he's awesome. I know. Wow, good for you. That's awesome. Good for you. So what else can you tell us about your website? Can people buy these, tracks sold, or is it just like a download? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, well, for people to buy tracks, you need to be associated, for the most part, with the label company.
Oh, okay.
Currently in a progress signing a contract with few labels. I cannot name them as of yet.
No, I know. So what you so now you're working with worldwide label companies. So basically, what you're doing with the tracks is sold to these label companies, not to the general public. Is that correct?
They will be selling it.
Yeah, I know, but it's when you're dealing with what you're doing. So the folks out there, if they're trying to do what you're doing, when you're doing that, it's you're trying to get them to get to like your tracks and want to buy in the production that you've done, and then they go out and sell it.
Yes.
But they're the ones that you deal with personally as a DJ, as a production and promoter. They're the ones, right?
Yes.
Okay, because that's the steps in it. So basically, you're not dealing with the public, you're dealing with the label companies after you produce and put these out.
Exactly.
And I know it's very profitable if they do like what you're doing.
As long as people like it, they can, put it in a store, and it's about the quality. If people like it, then they will be profitable. I will be profitable.
Now, is this stuff worldwide for you?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's unknown. It's still in progress. It's still in talks. I cannot talk in details right now.
No, I understand. So it's in other countries. It's not just in America.
No, it's everywhere. So the way it's gonna work, once we agree on terms, once we agree on certain terms, we sign the papers. I release track to them. They will be owning that track specifically to them. Then they will be releasing it to the stores. There's a main store online called beatport.com where people can listen.
Can you say that again? What's it called?
Beatport.com.
Seaport?
Beatport, yeah.
Okay,
And,
you said seaport.com, SEAPORT?
Beatport, BEATPORT.
Oh, okay. And people can go on there and listen. That's pretty cool.
They can listen and buy, yes.
Wow, awesome. Because that's, people right now, nowadays, everyone's into the computers, the text and this and that. We want stuff with no commercials. We want stuff that's mixed. And, that's just the way of the world right now, So I think what you're on to is a great thing. And can you tell us a little bit about what your future plans are, what your goal is?
My goal is to be next to big producers, DJs, so I can, I remember back in the days when I walked into my, first club that I saw the DJ in front of me, I said to myself, one day I'm going to DJ with them. You know what? After maybe 6-7 years from that day, I DJed with that DJ.
Wow, now are you talking about David Guardia? How do you pronounce his last name?
Who?
David, how did you say it?
No, I'm not talking about him.
Okay.
This is something different.
Okay.
So, from what I'm trying to say right now is, what I had dreamed first time when I walked into the club,
Yep.
what I have now is the same dream and same goals. It's just the higher level. And I wanted to produce a quality, well-known track so people can hear it and know that it's me who created,
Awesome. And if you get to that point, I definitely want to interview you again and maybe go to one of your events when you're doing DJing at one of these things. I think that'd be okay with you?
Yeah?
I would love that, especially because my show's getting pretty popular, and I'm writing a book, and you're definitely going to put you in there, part of that, and you have a lot of great insight, and I really respect that, you worked really hard to be where you're at. Just being in this country, never mind doing what you're doing. Can you tell people a little bit, I know, like, you're in the computer world as well, like, you do that to keep yourself afloat, to fund yourself, to build your dreams, because people out there need to know, like, you can't, we all got to pay bills and survive and live our lives, we can't just, when you're trying to build up something, it's a lot of hard work, and sometimes you don't get paid the first year much, or two,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, yeah. People just, if I would be talking to people right now and would recommend them or suggest them, how to become a DJ and how to pursue your dreams, just you start, be starving, and get to your goals, and don't give up, because there will be something on the side that comes on your way to take you down.
Yeah, that pacifies you to survive while you're trying to get that done, because everybody out there needs to know, like, anything that's going to be really successful in your life is really hard work, and just when you're about to break is when you need to push harder, and those are the people that are moving forward, that get through that almost where you feel like you're going to quit type situation where you're taking that negative and putting it into positive, saying, no, I can do better than this, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to do better. And I think everyone I talk to, Albert, I have to say, and this is no lie, every single person that has been like on my show talking about moving forward and stuff, they all have worked so very hard and still are to accomplish their goals. And I think, and never quit, never. Even at their breaking points, I think that's the toughest, because it's so easy to quit and walk away from anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not easy to stay there and to get through the learning curves and, the fight for the future and to make it. Because, I think in the end, when you do accomplish all that, it's the best feeling in the world, better than anything, because you know that you've really worked at that and accomplished that, and that's going to be the best feeling, Do you agree with that?
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I just want to thank you for being on the show. I love your insights and your positive energy, and I'm looking forward to seeing you out there doing some tracks and going to one of your events coming up. And, let me know what's going on, and I'll advertise it for you as well. And do you have anything else that you want to say to the folks out there?
Yeah, just get what you want. Don't give up.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Well, thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you, Andrea, for having me.